Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Neil Neimark, and in this video I'm going to teach you a powerful technique for managing your stress called Write Yourself a Reality Check. One of my very favorite definitions of stress is that stress is the gap between our expectations and reality. In other words, the more reality fails to meet our expectations in life, the more stress we experience. Think about it. We rarely get stressed when what happens to us is what we expect or hope will happen to us, right? If I'm hired to do a project for someone and we agree that I will be paid $200 for my work, then when I receive my $200 payment, I don't experience any stress at all, right? Of course not. Why? Because it's exactly what I expected to receive. There is no gap between my expectations and my reality. But what if I get a check for $100 instead of the $200 I was expecting to get? Then there's some stress going on and I'm not happy about it. Why? Because there is now a gap between my expectations and my reality. In this case, it's even quantifiable. It's a $100 gap. Now, instead of looking at money, let's look at something a bit more complicated for most of us. Relationship stress and all the emotions, frustrations, and unrealistic expectations that come into play in our relationships. Let me give you a personal example. I'm hard at work one night, lose track of time, and realize that I'm already supposed to be home and I haven't even left the office yet.
No!
I call my wife to let her know, and she is not happy with me and lets me know it. Turns out she had set up dinner plans for us, which I completely forgot about, and she now has to call our friends and cancel them. I feel the tension inside of me, and when I get home, she really lets me have a piece of her mind. When this happens, my gut level response is to get defensive and angry back at her and accuse her of overreacting. This, of course, leads to an all-out escalation. I'm trying to learn a better way to handle things, so let me show you how I can write myself a reality check to reduce my stress and save my marriage one conflict at a time. Writing yourself a reality check involves answering 4 key questions. The first question is, what am I feeling right now? Well, I'm feeling upset and angry that my wife is overreacting and giving me such a hard time about being late. I admit I should have called her, and in that respect I messed up, but I'm angry that she's so angry at me. The second question is, what would I have liked to happen? I would have liked my wife to be a little more understanding and give me some slack. After all, I'm rarely late and I messed up, but I don't deserve to be treated like this. I would have liked her to say, "Oh, that's okay, honey. I know you're busy and you work hard for our family, and you probably just got so busy you forgot what time it is. It's no big deal." Well, what we wish would have happened represents our expectation, also called our addictive fantasy. Because when we don't get it met, we go through a sort of emotional withdrawal that makes us angry, frustrated, hurt, or withdrawn. The third question is, if I had gotten my fantasy met, that is, if my wife had been loving and understanding and kind to me over this episode, how would I feel inside right now? Well, that's easy. I would feel appreciated, loved, and cared for, and feel like a great husband and father. Why? Because I realize it's not really my wife being upset at me that's causing me most of my distress right now. It's my expectation that if she really loved me, she wouldn't be upset with me right now.
Wow.
And here's the fourth and most important question to answer. Can I give myself those inner feelings even though my wife is angry at me right now? In other words, can I accept about myself that I am a kind, caring, and good husband, and that my wife does appreciate me, even though at this moment in time my wife is clearly angry and upset with me? When I can get to this point of breaking free of my own expectations and my own addictive fantasies, then I can begin to accept my wife's anger, upset, and disappointment with me without letting it define who I am inside. When we define our own self-worth based upon other people's reactions toward us, life is bumpy indeed. And we all do it, by the way. We all have these addictive fantasies and unrealistic expectations that get in our way. But when we learn how to write ourselves a reality check, we can begin to cash in on a healthier, happier life where those around us have the room to express their hurts and frustrations without it always triggering our own defensiveness. And then life becomes much more enjoyable and much less stressful. So, the next time you feel frustrated and angry about something, write yourself a reality check and cash it. Breaking through unrealistic expectations is a powerful way to reduce your stress. This is Dr. Neil Neimark for the Academy of Stress Mastery.